And so welcome back to another one, you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Mercedes-Benz of Hagerstown in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so, wanted to check this one out because this is an extremely good looking coupe. I don't think anyone can disagree with me there, but metallic paints are now standard for the 2023 model year. So there's the update for 2023. And this one did just arrive. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, all that fun stuff. So having said all of that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so essentially there are two different configurations for the E450. You got the rear wheel drive configuration starting at $69,750. Then you got the 4MATIC all-wheel drive, which is the one we have today, starting at $72,250. But regardless of the configuration that you go with, the power plant is going to be the same. Powering the beast is a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6-cylinder. That's pretty cool. 362 horsepower at 5,500 RPM, 369 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 1,600 RPM. That power sent to the rear wheels or all wheels through a 9-speed automatic with paddle shifters. 0 to 60 time coming in at approximately 5.2 seconds for the rear wheel drive, 4.9 seconds for the all-wheel drive, with MPG numbers coming in at 23 city, 30 on the highway for the rear wheel drive, 21 in the city, still 30 on the highway though for the all-wheel drive, taking premium unleaded fuel. And so before we do any kind of fun acceleration or paddle shifter test here in our E450 coupe, wanted to mention to you guys the drive modes. There's a button labeled dynamic. It stands for dynamic select. It's kind of a toggle switch located just to the left of the touchpad controller. When you hit that, you can adjust between eco, comfort, sport, sport plus, and individual, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and the air suspension, which doesn't come standard, but it is optional on the E450 coupe. So I wanted to mention that. But now I've got all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find straight away. Let's put the paddle shifters and acceleration here to the test. Let's see how quickly the paddle shifters are going to react for us, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2023 E450 coupe here up to speed. All right, second gear. All right, let's go. Whoa, this thing's quick. This thing is fun. This thing is fun, man. Paddle shifters are pretty darn quick as well, but that acceleration, that's what puts a smile on your face. It's a lot quicker than I thought it was gonna be. So definitely a lot of respect for the acceleration in the E-Coupe here. So wonderful. Anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. So as expected, you will find a performance-oriented braking system, perforated front disc with 6-piston front calipers, including that Mercedes-Benz lettering, of course. That looks so dang good. As far as the 60-0 stopping distance goes, it actually comes in at 127 feet, which on paper is not the best, quite honestly. I expected better, but let me go ahead and hit the brakes just to test it. Braking feel is fine. It is a little bit on the softer side of things, I will say that, but the braking feel is fine. I certainly personally wouldn't have any issues with the brakes on this thing. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent 4-link front axle, in the back independent 5-arm multi-link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars, but you also get an adaptive damping suspension, and this is one I always like to recommend when it doesn't come standard release, which it does on the E-Coupe, because it essentially monitors each shock absorber individually, not only adjusting to the road imperfections, giving you a smoother ride, but it also tightens up that suspension during heavy cornering, really giving you the best of both worlds. So for that reason, ride quality has been perfectly fine in my short little test drive here today. Definitely not having any issues there, but I did want to mention there is an optional air suspension. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video there, that goes for $1,900, by the way, but that is really ultimately going to give you the very best ride quality. So that is what you want if you want the best ride quality. As far as steering feel goes, it's fine. It's definitely weighted on the heavier side of things, not too heavy. It's honestly just perfect, or just right for the E-Coupe, so no issues there. As far as cabin noise goes, we're going 5 miles per hour right now, and there isn't a whole lot of wind noise coming in. I'm just kidding, you guys. Honestly, the cabin noise at 55 is dang good as well. It's definitely a very serene cabin, as you would come to expect from Mercedes-Benz, of course. And touching on rear visibility, it's perfectly fine. Honestly, some coupes, you do have issues with rear visibility, but that's not the case in the E450 coupe, so definitely no issues there either. And if you wanted a head-up display projecting your speed limit, and safety features up onto your windshield, that is available for $1,100 if you wanted to go that route. But as we are sitting in construction right now, that pretty much rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2023 Mercedes-Benz E450 Coupe. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2023 Mercedes-Benz E450 Coupe, finished in manufacturer Moonlight White Metallic, which is a $1,750 paint option. I do like it though. If you get up close, you can definitely see the metallic flake in it, so definitely a very nice look. But again, metallic paint is now standard on the E Coupe, whereas it was not in the previous model year, so I do want to emphasize that. But as always, let's go ahead and start with where this one is made. Taking a look at the VIN, first character is the letter W, indicating that the E Coupe is built and assembled in Germany, so that is pretty cool. So starting up front here, diamond block front grille will come standard. That comes with a dark finish. It's going to be the standard setup. However, there is a chrome diamond block front grille that you guys are currently looking at. That comes standard with the AMG line packages. There are 2 of them, and that definitely adds a more aggressive front fascia, which you guys are looking at right now as well. So satin chrome front lip will come standard on this one. To the sides, LED headlights with LED daytime running lights. Also get the automatic feature, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, these headlights will turn on automatically for you there. But also to go along with that, automatic high beams. So if you have your high beams on at night, and it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when the vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically then bounce it back up to high beams for you. So definitely a very nice convenience feature there as well. But overall, very nice looking front end as always. But now let's go and make our way to my favorite part, which is the side of the E450 Coupe. All right, so but now making our way to the side of this one. Chrome window surrounds will come standard, but one of the coolest parts, frameless door glass for the front and rear windows, meaning they will go down completely. So that is a pretty cool look. That's something Mercedes-Benz does and has done in the past, and I've always liked the look of that. But anyways, body colored power adjustable side mirrors will come standard. That will be heated with LED integrated turn signals, and they will also be power folding, as you would expect for Mercedes-Benz, of course. You do also have some chrome accenting found on the door handles to tie together with chrome accenting found around the window surrounds there. And then take a look down at the wheel setup. 18-inch twin 5-spoke alloys will come standard. 19-inch AMG specific alloys are going to come with the AMG line packages, and I love the look of AMG wheels. They're always so unique, but that is what you guys are looking at, of course. And then of course there are 19 and 20-inch wheel designs available to really make this one your own. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. All right, so but now since we are around to the back, first thing I always typically mention is a shark fin antenna. However, in typical Mercedes fashion, there is none of that. So a very clean look up top on the roof of the E-Class here. Definitely like that. But rear spoiler is going to be available. You guys are looking at that. That goes for $350 if you wanted that option. There is a center high mount stop lamp as well. There are LED taillights, so a little added illumination at night there. I like that. And just below it all, you're going to find integrated dual exhaust outlets with satin chrome tips, and yes, I love that they're integrated into the rear bumper. Also a big fan of that matte black rear diffuser back there as well. But having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. All right, so but now since we are around to the back of the E-Class Coupe here, when it comes to opening that rear trunk, there's several different ways to go ahead and do that. There's of course a button on the key fob, there's a button on the driver's side door, but my favorite way is the hidden way, where you press in on the upper portion of the Mercedes logo in the back there, and of course it's going to automatically then open up for you because it is a power trunk that comes standard on this thing. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 10 cubic feet even. If that was not enough space, there are some levers back there. You can fold the rear seats down. There's a 40-20-40 split, meaning that's a ton of extra space then if you needed it. There is some cargo lighting back there. There are cargo tie-down anchors as well. A little bit of netted storage to the sides. To my surprise, there's actually a little fold-down grocery bag hook, so you got kind of places to hang your groceries on both sides there. Then if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you will find a little bit of in-floor storage, maybe enough for an ice scraper or something like that. But anyways, then making our way up to the rear legroom. That comes in at 35.9 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had back there, and quite honestly, 35.9 inches for a 2+2 is dang impressive, if I'm being honest. That is a good bit of space for a two-door coupe. So well done, Mercedes, for pulling that off. But there is some cup holders back there, of course. There's rear ventilation and a couple of phone charging ports back there then as well. But then making our way up to the front seats, power adjustable front seats with 4-way power lumbar does come standard. Memory settings for both the driver and passenger comes standard as well. That's pretty cool. Leather seating coming standard, heated front seats coming standard. If you want ventilated front seats though, that goes for $450. And another option you might want to check out is multi-contour front seats with the massage function. So yes, you can get a massage in this thing for an additional $950 if you wanted to go that route. But overall, seating was plenty comfortable for me. I love the vertical seams as well. That's something I always gripe on in other reviews that I do. When you got the horizontal seams, you got awkward pressure points, but with vertical seams, it's a lot comfier comparatively speaking to the horizontal seams. I'm just saying, so no issues there. Then take a look at the steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping. It is going to be leather wrapped, coming standard. I like the perforation on the left and right hand side. It's a flat bottom, which I love as well, and the 10-2 grips are definitely bolstered on the thicker side, so I definitely love that as well. If you wanted a heated steering wheel, it goes for $250. But then make our way to the startup. Let me start by showing you guys the key here. Essentially, all of your buttons are located on one side of the key. Got your Mercedes logo front and center, but lock on top, unlock at the bottom, and that button to pop the rear trunk as well. But it is all keyless entry with a push button start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that silver engine start button located just to the left of the air vents there. And so once started up, 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster does come standard on this thing. I love that. One of the best parts about the gauges though is if you go all the way to the right, you got a designs and display section where you can choose different loadouts, completely changing the look of the gauges, including classic, sport, progressive, and understated. Understated is kind of funny because it's literally like nothing up on the gauge. It's just the digital readout basically, which is pretty cool. But anyways, if you wanted to completely change the look of your gauges, that's why digital gauges are so important in today's age, because you can do it, so why not do it? That's my theory. I absolutely love it. Of course, it gives you outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, radio information, when you need your next service, and so on. So pretty much absolutely everything you could possibly want on the gauges, of course. But now let's go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. A panorama roof does come standard on the E Coupe. Love that. HomeLink controls also coming standard, and that's for up to 3 different garage doors, found just below the rear view mirror there. Dual zone climate control coming standard, along with 64 colors of ambient lighting. And in typical Mercedes fashion, it's done so incredibly well, and that can be adjusted through the infotainment screen. We'll check that out in a second here. But several ashwood trim colors are available as well. There's like a light beechwood color. There's this dark mahogany color that we have in this thing. And I always say, whenever Mercedes puts wood trim finishes in their vehicles, when you first get into these things, it doesn't smell like a new car. It smells like a new home, as if you were just building it from scratch. So I absolutely love the smell of this thing, I gotta say. I like the design of the air vents as well, and how they're actually built into the wood trim. I like the color contrast that we have on this one, like the kind of saddle brown with the dark black as well. The leather finishes everywhere. You do have a little bit of storage just in front of the cup holders. There's a phone charging port, 12-volt power outlet, of course your cup holders themselves. And within the center armrest, there's a little bit of storage there, and you got a couple more phone charging ports within that as well. So overall, definitely no issues with the interior quality, and you wouldn't expect any when it comes to Mercedes-Benz. You do have an overhead sunglass holder as well, in case you're curious. But anyways, now let's go ahead and make our way to the infotainment screen. As you would imagine, to match the gauges, the infotainment screen is also a 12.3-inch color touchscreen display. And so, like I said, it is touchscreen. You also have this touchpad controller and buttons located just behind your cup holders. That's another way. And you got the awesome functionality by simply saying, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Turn on the radio." And it's on. I just got to turn it up, so I'm just going to turn it up here. Yeah, that's proof. Anyway, so that's pretty darn convenient, I will say that. But anyways, Bluetooth and audio streaming do come standard. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay as well. Again, you can check out your ambient lighting settings and all of your different colors up on that screen as well. You got climate control settings up there, and you got a cool theme section. If you go back to the home screen and then you kind of swipe up from the bottom, you got trip, experience, efficiency, and lounge. And what those themes essentially do is change just about everything. It changes the ambient lighting colors. It can open and close the panorama roof up top here. So it does adjust quite a bit, actually, depending upon the different theme setting that you put it on. You don't have to play around with that, but it's there for you if you want it. But you can also, of course, check out your radio information up there. So when it comes to the standard sound system, that is going to be a 13-speaker Burmester surround sound system, 590 watts, a 9-channel digital amplifier, and a subwoofer. And the speaker covers, of course, are finished in aluminum, so very high end. So I love that as well. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. Let's go ahead and turn on the radio. Let's see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Alright, I'm going to say something with this sound system that I don't traditionally say in my other reviews, is this one specifically sounded like you were at a concert. It really was coming at you at all ends. The clarity, I believe, in this sound system sounds amazing. Decent amount of bass, not the very most I've heard, but the clarity was 100% on point. That's the part that will blow you away with this particular sound system that we have here. But anyways, last thing I want to mention to you guys on that infotainment screen is when you do put the E-Class in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board. But not just that, you're also going to get that panoramic view monitor, the 360-degree view all the way to the left there. That also comes standard on the E-Coupe, so you got to love that. But as always, that is going to lead us into safety. And so to start, I will say that sedan is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus. The Coupe has not been tested with IIHS. I would imagine it would be the same thing, but don't quote me on that because it hasn't been tested. But traditionally, Mercedes does make a very safe vehicle, but front side curtain airbags do come standard. Driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you're gonna have latch, aka lower anchors to tethers for children for the rear car seats. Tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard, Mercedes-Benz emergency call service. So if it senses the airbags go off because somebody hits you or something like that, the car is going to automatically call you and ask if you need an ambulance or police or anything like that. So that's pretty cool. Active brake assist, blind spot assist, attention assist, cross wind assist, which is a pretty cool feature as well. Parktronic with active parking assist, rear cross traffic alert, and adaptive braking technology as well, which I actually got to test out there during the construction. When I went off-road to go around the cones, it actually almost stopped for me because I was going off the road, which is kind of cool. But anyways, when it comes to my final thoughts here of the E-Coupe, great looking design. I definitely think Mercedes makes a heck of a good looking coupe without a doubt. Plenty of power in this thing as well. You guys probably remember that acceleration test. That was pretty nuts. Amazing interior quality, amazing ambient lighting. I always say Mercedes-Benz does ambient lighting better than any other manufacturer that I've tested. So that is pretty darn good as well. Very comfortable ride, very serene cabin. That's one of the things that I even noticed even more after I went over that portion of the review initially. So very serene cabin in this thing. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the E450 Coupe in the comments section below. And that is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen if you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews, because that is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video.